Invite a Budget Blinds style consultant to show you how to transform your rooms just by changing your window coverings. Canada's #1 choice for window coverings. Visit budgetblinds.ca today.
This is Newcap News with Bart Pediasic.
Good evening. It was a final chance to impress and possibly swing any undecided voters to their direction. This as the Lloydminster Chamber of Commerce played host to the Vermillion Lloydminster All-Candidate Forum last night. The three-way political battle brought up plenty of political issues as we get ever closer to Election Day.
I've taken on that position of trust with diligence, respect, and a profound sense of duty. I'm proud of the accomplishments we've made during my first term in office.
From Richard Starkey's experience,
Premier Prentice has already demonstrated that given the chance, he's perfectly prepared to manipulate people, and that's what they're doing with a premature election.
To Danny Hozak's willingness to fight.
We're coming to a crossroads here. We're 44 years of policy that doesn't work.
And Saba Musagzi's alternative take. All three Vermillion Lloydminster candidates gave plenty of food for thought to any undecided voters at Lakeland College. An all-important stop for each political hopeful as the countdown to Election Day continues. Through most of the night, it seemed like a two-party fight, as both the PC and Wild Rose candidates attacked each other's plans and political records.
Richard's statement on the budget and prudence and appropriate spending and appropriate borrowing, that's the same speech as he used in 2012 when he said, like, don't worry, we've got a plan, we're using prudent borrowing, and it'll all be balanced by 2015. But as I pointed out, now it's 2015. Our $17 billion in savings are gone. They're headed $31 billion in debt.
The criticism, it's all very negative, and it's very typical. That criticize, but don't provide any positive alternatives that in clear, well-costed positive alternatives that would show exactly what the effects would be.
We have a forward-looking plan. We have an alternative budget, which, as I pointed out earlier, their own economist, Jack Mintz, said the numbers add up.
You cannot balance a budget with a $7 billion revenue shortfall on the backs of cuts alone. It'll drive the economy into a recession, and that's what the Wild Rose wants to do.
In the middle of the two fiscally conservative candidates, Musagzi laid out Rachel Notley's plan of action when it comes to Alberta on the current recession in the form of tax restructuring.
To tax the wealthiest 10% in this country instead of taxing middle class who really cannot afford it with the potential cuts in healthcare and education that we're looking at with the PC government.
And while appearing nervous for the first half of the forum, even joking to the audience that she isn't as polished as her opponents, Musagzi is trying to sell her party as the only clear alternative this election season.
Part of the reason I threw my hat in the ring was because there's conservative and more conservative. It didn't seem fair for people to not have an option, and I was hoping to give them one.
Now that the final all-candidate forum is done, all three candidates are back on the campaign trail and will continue to talk to constituents until election night on May 5th. Well, it's a new trend among some young women, a do-it-yourself version of lip plumping. But as doctors say, it can cause some serious damage. Annika Notfade has more in this week's Healthy Living.
This is what they're doing to get this, but the results aren't always as desired.
I would never try anything like that. I don't know, that's surprising to see.
These girls are models with Fame Studio. They say trying something like this wouldn't even cross their minds.
In my opinion, I don't think that girls should want to change their personal appearance just because of what models look like on stage.
I think society is getting too worried about their appearance and too judgmental.
I don't think people should try and be like somebody else. We're all different, and I think we should just accept it.
And it's triggering concern with doctors who say the practice won't only have short-term effects like bruising, but could leave permanent damage to the lips.
You could damage the nerves, you won't be able to taste your food, you can have lack of sensation, and for example, if somebody has a tendency to have cold sores, they could get worse, it could cause infection, and your lips could get scarred.
Saeed says after the deed is done, the harm might not be reversible.
Then we have some medications. We will probably have to put them on some medications to reduce the swelling and the inflammation. And it may help, and it may not help. Depends on how much damage you've caused to the lips.
And Kay wants other girls to think twice before trying out the method.
You are the way you are, and people are going to love you for the way you are. You don't need to change yourself just to be accepted.
Annika Nafate, Newcap News.